Tropical Cyclone Mitchell, which is expected to cross Western Australia's Gascoyne coast later today. Angus Hines is a senior meteorologist with the Bureau of Meteorology. Angus, thank you very much for your time.
Hey, good afternoon.
Just how is this cyclone tracking right now? What's its intensity? What sort of wind gusts are you expecting to bring with it?
So through the course of this morning out west, we've seen a gradual decrease in intensity for Tropical Cyclone Mitchell. It's starting to break apart just a little bit, and that has meant that at 8 a.m. this morning, local time, it became a Category 1 tropical cyclone. It was a Category 2 system through the night last night, but a Category 1 tropical cyclone is still a pretty powerful weather system, and it's very close to the Gascoyne and Western Pilbara coastline. It's only sitting about 20 kilometres offshore at the moment, so that's still bringing some heavy rainfall and some damaging wind onto that northwestern corner of the country. The wind gusts could still exceed 100 kilometres an hour for coastal parts from around Ningaloo down to Denham through the course of the remainder of this morning and into this afternoon. That's strong enough to bring down big branches, if not entire trees, maybe damage property as well along that exposed stretch of coastline. We could still see some heavy rain as well, up to 50 or 100 millimetres, maybe a little bit more than that through the course of the day ahead. So even though the number has come down a little bit, still a pretty powerful weather system, not one to take lightly until it's completely done and dusted.
The wind gust there, we saw some of the impact of the cyclone in places like Exmouth overnight, and you mentioned the rain. Is it bringing any flooding with it or significantly higher tides?
So far, the flooding has been over fairly isolated areas. We've seen pockets of flash flooding across the communities through the Pilbara over the course of the weekend as the tropical cyclone was closer to that area, and then around the Exmouth, Learmonth region throughout the course of last night, and potentially now moving into parts of the western Gascoyne. Flash flooding has been possible, but we haven't seen a major response from the rivers up in the northwest. The levels might have been rising a little bit, but we haven't seen those rivers really climb to significant flood impact on and around those riverways at the moment. So it's a little bit of good news there, but we still have got flood watches around because some of those rivers could still rise through the rest of the day today. A lot more rain is on the way. A lot more rain is in the forecast as this tropical system does finally move from where it's been over the ocean for the last few days, and it will eventually make its way onto the country through the course of the day today. It's going to be pretty tricky to pinpoint an exact coastal crossing time because it's so close to the coast at the moment. It will gradually move onshore sometime this afternoon, probably south of Coral Bay, north of Carnarvon, and that will continue to bring those severe weather impacts, heavy rain, damaging wind, and as you mentioned there, large abnormally high tides and large waves. So the afternoon high tide in Carnarvon today could be a very high one, much higher than a typical high tide, and that can mean flooding of low-lying coastal areas, perhaps 1 hour either side of the high tide time.
Okay, so you mentioned there it's a little bit hard to pinpoint exactly when it's going to hit, but that area, which is quite an expansive area from in between Coral Bay and Carnarvon, what is your advice to people in those areas, or are you actually specifically targeting some other areas?
So for that area, that's the real focus for the next, say, 6 to 12 hours through the middle of the day on Monday, heading into this evening. It's likely to be around about 9 o'clock this evening, maybe 8 or 9 o'clock this evening, when that tropical cyclone gets quite close to Carnarvon. So I guess the advice for that area is to hunker down for the day today. It is going to be a rough one. It is going to be wet. It is going to be windy. We're likely to see some impacts to travel and transportation by way of road closures or branches and trees across roads. So do try and minimise travel when you can, and of course follow all advice from your local emergency services, as there are some emergency warnings in place from the Western Australia Emergency Services there. So keep up to date with those warnings as well as the forecast for the remainder of the day today. But looking ahead, it's not just that area which is going to be impacted. In fact, from tonight through until Wednesday morning, so the next couple of days, we're going to see this decaying weather system plunge into central parts of Western Australia, and it's going to bring an extensive band of rain rainfall with it. So we're looking at widespread rain across the western Gascoyne, the central west, the wheat belt, the Great Southern and parts of the south coast. Many areas to get between 50 and 100 millimetres of rain in the next 2 days. Some people to get more than that, and that will receive, I expect, a mixed reception, because some people will greatly welcome this rainfall. It's been a very, very dry summer so far. This will be the first significant rain since the springtime months in some areas, but in some locations that rain will come in too hard and fast, may cause flood impacts and runoff rather than really soaking into the landscape.